Back to our top story, more than 105,000 Los Angeles residents remain under evacuation orders as wildfires continue burning across the city. Severe fire danger conditions are predicted to remain until midweek. Joining me now is LA-based photographer and graphic designer Laura Johansen. Hi there, Laura. Thanks for your time today.
Hi, Lay.
I'm just so sorry about what you've had to suffer through, because I know that you had this experience of being trapped and trying to flee with your family. Tell us about that.
Well, we weren't so trapped. We just were progressively watching the fires come closer and closer. At first we heard they were in the Palisades and we're like, oh, that's fairly close by, but it's over the other side of the hill. And then as the winds changed, we watched the flames kind of come over towards us, and then this giant fireball. I'm sure you've seen the pictures of it by now. And it's it turns out it was a fire tornado, which we could see from our backyard. It was quite prominent, especially at nighttime. It was this craziest, most completely science fiction-y type of thing, but it's real and it's in your backyard. You can't imagine it. That's my husband there in the picture there. It was pretty harrowing. So, we weren't evacuated. We were one or two zones away. But in the end, the smoke was just so dramatic for us. It was horrible for the kids. And we ended up having to get out of town just to save their lungs, basically.
A few days ago, I spoke to another Aussie expat who was on the ground, and she was saying that she thought that the response was incredibly behind at the times, and just that they could have learned something from what we do in Australia. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's true. We all know how, the fire pattern works in Australia. We're very familiar with it, I guess. And so for me, I knew a lot about the winds and the matter of direction of the wind and how it was going to change. And I think the surprise at the beginning with the Santa Ana winds is what shocked everybody. And I don't think any city could be prepared for what happened with, it's a firestorm, a fire tornado, all of it together. It was catastrophic, as you can see by those images. And then once the wind changed, the fire does what the fire does. It goes north and it just heads over. It burns all the bush and it's coming straight towards you. But once again, I was navigating the winds and knowing what I know about Australian bushfire season, we were able to be okay.
What are you seeing now in terms of the community response? Are people united in fighting the fires, in helping the people who have suffered? Or
Yeah,
is
it's
there
actually
just a lot of, finger pointing and, political point scoring?
I'm seeing a little bit of both, but the community aspect has been incredible. There's a huge Australian expat community here, and they've gone above and beyond to help as much as possible. We've got, we're offering lodging where we can to any victims of the fires. We're offering, collections. The Aussie community is incredible here. And of course, the local communities, the family communities, the mum communities, your neighbors, when we evacuated yesterday, we ended up coming back to LA today just to help some people. But yesterday when we had evacuated to get away from the smoke, we were met with so many other evacuees, and just the community aspect of helping each other's kids, helping each other's pets. People were there with their parrots, with their dogs, at the local parks, just trying to get fresh air for their families.
And how do you think the community will pull together and rebuild?
Yeah, so that's interesting. I see everybody is wanting to figure out how they can help. I'm seeing a lot of small businesses, even just small clothing boutiques are becoming open doors for people to just come in and take what they need. I met with people today that have lost everything. The lady I met with today had, they come from the Palisades, so they're, quite lovely homes. She had a helper with her, but she said, I have 2 pairs of underwear to my name. And that's all she had. She's like, I have 2 sets of clothes, 2 pairs of underwear, and a helper, and that's it. She escaped with what she was, what she had on her person, basically, and the few things in boxes in her car. So these people are starting from scratch again. I'm getting my children, my husband and we're going to go through our closets. We're going to see what we can possibly spare. Everyone can spare something, right? And there's so many organizations that are now opening their doors and saying, just bring what you can. We want to give back to the community, no charge at all. Just take what you need.
Any idea what this is going to do to the local housing market?
Yeah, that's interesting. So we're already seeing huge spikes in, price gouging for basic necessities in water, let alone eggs, let alone housing. It's interesting because we have a rental property that just went. Our tenants moved out last week, and so we were already about to rent it out. And the areas around us are spiking in rent, and that's the most horrible thing you can possibly do. Your heart bleeds for these people. Your heart goes out to them completely. I know that there are some laws in effect that people can't do that. But in the end, people need homes, you know, and they need to take what they can. But yeah, the effects of this are going to be far flung and far beyond our comprehension at this moment. It's going to affect everyone in every way.
Well, thank you for taking the Aussie mateship spirit to LA. Thanks, Laura.
Anytime,
Laura
absolutely.
Johansen.
That's what Australians do.